G'day, I'm Jason Roberts and I am a professional chef. For the last 18 years I've cooked professionally, either in kitchens or on stage, writing books, executive producing, author, you name it, I have done it. I guess from the age of 4, I built a love of cooking because of my grandparents, so family involvement. Went through school, primary school, high school, any opportunity to cook I would, so whether it was pancakes, chow mein, chicken with apricots, not the greatest dishes, but I did anything I could possibly do to get into cooking. When I reached 18, I moved countries. I came to Australia, I got involved in TAFE, got into a restaurant, so one day a week I was being taught how to cook at a culinary institute. The rest of the time I was working in a restaurant. So I honed my skills in classical cookery, or classical French cookery, so I have a great understanding of classical French food, which to me is the mother of all cuisines. The first restaurant in which I really sort of aspired to and wanted to really invest a lot of time in was Bistro Mon Coeur, which is a classical French restaurant in a pub, so it was pub fare but with a twist using classical French methodology. From there, at the age of 23, I was head chef there, so I had maybe 19 to 23, 24 staff, most of which were older than me. 50% of my time was a counsellor, the rest of the time I was just doing my thing. So I achieved the pinnacle of my career when I was 24. Shoot ahead 2 more years, I was introduced into the TV world. I picked up a position with Channel 9 as the chef for a wonderful cooking show called Fresh, Cooking with Australian Women's Weekly, where I was on air 5 days a week. So my understanding of food being classical French and my ego somewhat transcended into what the community needed, what the people were watching and what they needed. So food that was more viable, nutritional, food that had to be more affordable, and food that would adhere to a family of 4 or 5 on a budget. 2 more years after that, I finished with Channel 9, went to Channel 10, picked up a worldwide endorsement for a line of cookware. So I traveled the world doing live shows. So I went from being in a kitchen to on television to on stage. And it could be anywhere but from 200 people to 30,000 people in Helensburgh in North Carolina to 160,000 people in Shanghai, China as of like a year ago. So I moved out of working in a restaurant into working in front of people, cooking what the people wanted to eat. I realized I reached the pinnacle of my career when I realized that food wasn't about what I wanted to cook, but about what the people wanted to eat. So several months ago I came back to Australia. For the last 2 years I've lived in Los Angeles basically as a place of where I lived. So 6 months of that I was in Los Angeles, the rest of the time I was traveling. So coming back here is a way to re-identify myself in this country and build profile again here. For many years I had a show nationally in this country, so for 3 or 4 years I've walked away from it and probably have lost touch with the locals in this country. So coming back here is a way to sort of re-identify myself, humble myself. I've spent a little bit of time working with my mentor, working in the kitchen, serving 80 to 100 people a night sort of thing, getting down, filleting chicken, filleting fish, cooking vegetables, and calling the pass, calling dockets, and having fun. You know, it's the reason I started to cook was because I wanted to get into a restaurant. So coming back is a way to humble myself, but also to rebuild profile. I've had opportunities with several wine companies, more TV, more radio, and potentially write another cookbook. So here we are at the Hunter Valley, and the Hunter Valley represents all things food and wine. And those two things, those two facets of my life and most of my friends and family's life are mere subconscious parts to the table, because my biggest philosophy is that families that eat together stay together. So the idea of coming here today was to enjoy what Mother Nature brings to the table. Beautiful wine, beautiful food, friends, family, sitting together at the table and consuming food and wine.